My name is Lisa Yellow Luger. I'm Hunkpapa Lakota from the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe, and I live in Fort Yates, North Dakota. I'm a First Nations Development Institute Luce Indigenous Knowledge Fellowship recipient.
First Nations, 40 years into our life, has always been about economic development, but more importantly, we've always been about the ability for tribes and Indian people to take control of their assets and managing them in a much different way than they've been managed in the past. And we see that way as being highly tied to culture and tradition. And so for us, the Luce Indigenous Knowledge Fellowship is integral to that philosophy and that practice here at First Nations. So this is our way of helping those folks who are the culture bearers in their communities continue their work.
The Henry Luce Foundation is a knowledge and education focused foundation. And our group of 10, they're extraordinary. We want them as knowledge keepers, as knowledge makers, to grow as leaders and knowledge keepers. Leadership, we believe, is crucially important to the strength and the vitality of any community. It's been a real honor to be able to work with leaders like those that have been in this first cohort. And so we're just really thrilled to be able to support Native knowledge leaders at this particular moment in history.
My project has a tribal justice focus where I will be researching tribal justice systems and assessing the potential for how such a program can be utilized by the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe. It is my intention to design and outline a culturally appropriate model rooted in the values, customs, and traditions of the people of Standing Rock.
You're taking your capacities and your resources, the things that you have been given by your elders, by your ancestors, the things that you have worked to acquire, and you're using those things for the greater good. But we're talking about just trying to create a place where our languages can live and survive. Our kids can be themselves without having to try and pretend there's something else out of safety.
I do a lot of work for a lot of the religious people who need certain items, particularly pottery, for different ceremonial purposes. I do that out of their need and giving back also. I was taught that you're giving a gift, so you need to also give back in the time of need. And so I do that.
I have dedicated my life to preserving and teaching the skills to inspire a new generation of master weavers. My work impacts the tribal community by giving them the opportunity to connect with their rich past of basket weaving, as well as connecting them to the environment that surrounds them through formal and informal teaching and sharing of traditional knowledge and the rich stories associated with the living art of basketry.
In my community, I am systematically researching and creating pieces of traditional Luce or Sukbiak art designed to create conversations around tough issues, such as the missing and murdered Indigenous women crisis.
And our Indigenous knowledge systems are all embedded in our language, and social change will happen when our children are freely able to express themselves and learn within the realm of their language. When you strengthen language, you also strengthen our knowledge around just what our ancestors knew and how they socialized children, how they interacted with the world.
I am a Hawaiian arts teacher at a private school for Native Hawaiian children from K to 12. I'm also a cultural practitioner in the art of Ulana Ie. Both my wife and I, Haunani, we actually teach this dying art for our Lahui, for our Hawaiian people throughout the state of Hawaii and abroad.
We have to reclaim those traditional practices so that we can make a difference in the way that our children come into the world, because I truly believe that making a difference with how they come into the world is going to set their life into motion after being born in a healthy and in a good way.
I also spend a lot of time with, in the context of trying to convince, trying to advocate, trying to battle for this Indigenous way of knowing and interacting with my natural environment.
I see my peers, my elders, and the children of the current generation all striving to live up to the responsibilities as stewards of the earth and caretakers of one another. I believe that the primary concepts of peace, strength, and right-mindedness can empower Indigenous and non-Indigenous people alike to recover from and address trauma and create stable relationships and communities based upon trust and caring.
The interaction we've had with the 10 fellows from our inaugural class has been incredible. Just the deep knowledge and the sense of culture and community that these folks have brought to the table and to each other and to First Nations and Indian country in general has been spectacular. I can only imagine, the exponential additive effect that the next round of fellows and the one after that will bring to this process.